Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this review we are going to be looking at the Transformers Universe Deluxe Class Dinobot. This is kind of like along the same lines as the Rhinox and Waspinator and Rat Trap and Tankor that they're doing. Old characters reimagined, hopefully to be more accurate. This guy's, he and Cheetor came out way before the other ones started coming out, and they're not quite as good as the other ones. This guy's robot mode is actually fairly decent. The alt mode, or the dinosaur mode, not very good. And also, they got his colors way wrong. I don't know why they did that, but they did. So I gotta try to find the one that is the accurate color version. But this one, which is the most common one, not very accurate, but it's still decent. In dinosaur mode, you can move the legs around. They do have some articulation, not much, but you do get some. You can open and close the mouth, and you can move these little dinosaur arms. That's really about it. The dinosaur mode is definitely not what you're going to want to keep this figure in, but it's not horrible. It's a somewhat decent dinosaur mode. It's about 9 inches long from head to tail, about 5.5 to the top of his head going this way. So I mean, it's decent size for a deluxe especially, but definitely not where you want to keep it. You want to get him into robot mode. So let me do that, and I can probably, yeah, I'll just do it off camera to save time. So let me get him transformed and then I'll show you that. Okay, so we have him transformed into robot mode, and as you can see, the mold itself way more accurate than the original Dinobot. The original didn't look like the show at all. I know the show is based on the figures, but still you want the figures to look like the show. And this one's mold is just about perfect, you know, maybe a little bit better in the torso, a bit, and maybe a little bit in the legs, but still it's really quite nice. It's quite accurate. It's just not the right color scheme. They did give him a fist or an actual hand to use, and then you could leave this or fold it back. But in the show, I'm 95% sure, maybe even more than that, that he just used the claws, and you can actually do that with the figure, so that's fine by me. The head, as you can see, sculpt is perfect, so that's great. A nice little feature is they have the Maximal logo on the chest there, or you can flip it around to just the dinosaur, which we saw in Beast mode, or the Predacon logo. Just because he was originally a Predacon, you can do that, so that's kind of cool. I really like this guy. As far as articulation goes, the head can swivel. That's it. Unfortunately, it'd be nice to have a little bit more. You can kind of see that light piping in there. That's kind of good. They did a good job with that. But the head does have a swivel, which is probably enough. The shoulders are standard ball hinge. It's a little sloppy in there in terms of floating around, but it's not too bad. Well, now I've just unassembled it partially. Yeah, they kind of just bounce around. They're not super tight, but that's okay. It's not horrible. So the shoulders are a ball peg, so plenty range of motion. We have a bicep swivel right here. It's really stiff, but it is there. Then we have a full elbow, and then if you use the robot hand, you have no articulation. But if you use the claws, you can use the claws to make fists, kind of, which is pretty much what it was in the show. So that's pretty good. As far as the waist goes, you don't get any waist articulation. You do have ball pegs for the hips. You do get a bit of a knee joint, but not much, so that's kind of disappointing. And then for the feet, you just have a ball peg that connects the ankle right in there. So that's a little disappointing as well. It could have been better for sure, but this guy is definitely, if you're a Dinobot fan, this guy's a must-have, I think. And Dinobot's one of my all-time favorite Transformers, so I'm really happy with it. The bad thing is, his sword, they made it translucent orange. It's the right shape. It's a little short, but it doesn't look anything like it because of the color. You can make him hold it because it pegs into that foot. Not that well, but it can. Especially if you close the claws up, he can hold the sword just fine. So that's okay. Of course, it's made for the robot hand. Now, the spinning blade that comes from his tail, no, not so much. It's pretty much useless. Horrible. He can hold it by using the robot hand. It can hold it right there, but it really doesn't look right in any way, shape, or form, and it shoots the sword out of the center, so I would just get rid of that, personally. It's still pretty good, but it's not perfect. Not nearly as nice as the newer ones have been, so maybe they'll redo the Dinobot. I doubt it, but they might. He's about 6 inches tall, so that's pretty good. And one thing I want to point out, when you transform it, that's about as far down as the dinosaur head goes. But what you can do is just, before you close everything up, get that out of the way as far as you can. The thing that's holding the head in place is this springed flap. And when you fold it down, it gets in the way. So what I suggest is you use something that you can get in there with, and just hold that flap down, and you can push the dinosaur head back just a little bit more, and it tucks it in a little more cleanly. It looks a little bit better. So there it is, guys. I definitely recommend this figure. If you're a Beast Wars fan or a Dinobot fan, this guy is a must-have. There's almost no kibble, and it is a huge improvement over the original mold. So thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more figure reviews, custom figures, and other good stuff. And in the meantime, let's put this way. I wish that flipped a little bit easier too, but it's not bad. So there it is. Okay, so there you go. Thanks for watching, and in the meantime, keep collecting.